In a landmark and deeply polarizing verdict, a South Korean court has sentenced former President Yoon Suk-yeol to life imprisonment, convicting him of masterminding an insurrection linked to his December 2024 attempt to impose martial law. The ruling marks one of the most dramatic political downfalls in South Korea's modern democratic history.
A Seoul court found former President Yoon Suk-yeol guilty of conspiring to subvert the constitutional order by deploying troops to the National Assembly in a bid to paralyze parliamentary functions. The court ruled that Yoon, along with the then Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, orchestrated the attempt to impose martial law, an act prosecutors described as a direct assault on democratic institutions. Yoon has been sentenced to life in prison. Yoon's legal team has sharply criticized the verdict, alleging that the court ignored key evidentiary principles. The defense maintains that the former president's actions did not amount to insurrection.
Watching what appears to be collapse of the rule of law today, I am compelled to question whether we should process with an appeal or continue to participate in these criminal proceedings at all. This is a matter that will require consultation with the President and further discussion among Council before we determine our next course of action.
The verdict has sharply divided public opinion in South Korea. Supporters gathered at rallies expressed disappointment but vowed that the judgment would energize their movement.
Given how much the rule of law has eroded in the Republic of Korea, we had hoped for an acquittal. But we see today's result as a challenge our country now has to work through.
But many Seoul residents welcome the life sentence as a historic and necessary decision, asserting that any attempt to impose martial law must never be repeated.
I was watching the martial law, which is something I'd only seen in history books, unfold in real time. I hoped for a harsher punishment so that history wouldn't repeat itself, but with the appeals still to come, I worry the sentence might be reduced.
The life sentence handed to former President Yoon Suk-yeol marks a defining moment in South Korea's political history, as the case tested the strength of its democratic institutions and constitutional safeguards. As the legal battle moves to the appeal stage and public debate continues, the verdict is set to shape the country's political landscape for years to come. Bureau Report, DD India.